We're going to talk about the main theme, how it's played in the right hand here. So the main theme is this part. And then it switches to the left hand. Um, when we're playing in the right hand, let's talk about the right hand section and how you would train it. First of all, you want to practice the melody with counts in it. You want to count both hands as you practice them separately so that when you put them together, you've got something that unifies the two. If you're just playing, getting the memory of how it sounds, when you try to put them together, you don't have a lot of landmarks for how the two parts connect. But counting allows you to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. So when I put the hands together, I can say 1 and the and of 2, 1 and 2 and 3, and that's the only notes that the left hand plays to add into the melody in the first bar. So as I'm practicing the right hand part by itself, I want to practice getting a good even tone, and I want to practice for a full line so that I can hear the full phrase, or if it were English, it would be a full sentence or a full paragraph. So here we have a longer phrase, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 4. Okay, so I'm going to count the eighth notes through that whole thing. I'm going to make sure I switch to 4 and 3 bars appropriately where the time signature changes. And then I'm also, you might notice, playing on the end of the bar. You can play on the center of the bar if you want to. What you cannot do is play on this part of the bar. If you're on the end of the bar, you don't want to be up here. You want to be on the very end of the bar. And you'll hear that tone quality really quickly deteriorate as you move away from the end of the bar. And when you get over the string, there's very little sound because you're playing on the node. This is where the bar is vibrating. This bar, end of the bar moves a lot. The center of the bar moves a lot. So when you hit them, you get a lot of sound. But they're pivoting around this point. And if you hit on that point, it doesn't excite the bar as much as if you hit in the center or the end of the bar. You can play to the center of the bar if you want to. You just have to reach. You have to reach pretty fast if you're reaching all the way in and there. There are ways to add the 4 mallet playing, but I wouldn't mess with that right now at the beginning. It's helpful if you can isolate this inside mallet so that the outside mallet isn't bouncing around like this. It's really hard to control because of all that extra momentum going places you don't want it. So learn to play with these muscles right here, this little triangle of muscles. Index finger and thumb are controlling that inside mallet, and they just play without the outer side of the hand, this bottom part of the hand. So these two fingers are going to be controlling the outside mallet, and these two fingers are going to be controlling the inside mallet. Your middle finger anchors the inside mallet with the tip of it right in the center of your palm, and your middle finger helps the outside mallet by allowing it like a rolling point. It rolls around this finger, this joint of this middle finger is like a table, a rounded table that the mallet can round around and gives it a nice even. You want to be able to isolate that outside mallet also, so it's not, you don't want the inside mallet jumping around like a frog while you're trying to play notes with the outside mallet alone. So you want to practice trying to isolate those. It's a certain kind of stability that you need to add into your hand. You experiment with it and you'll figure it out. I might do a video one day on just specifics of how that happens. So the last thing to discuss here is the transition into the left hand melody. The main theme is going to be echoed in the left hand right after this. So the transition goes after this bar, and then you're going to go on with the melody in the left hand. The transition, your left hand, this is the last bar that is playing, and then just like we did in the intro, the left hand notes or the accompaniment notes are going to be taken over right by the right hand as the left hand plays the melody. When you practice the left hand, you want to practice the left hand to have that same paragraph that the right hand told. So while the right hand was playing this long paragraph, the left hand has a paragraph to tell also, and it has a story that you need to learn. It sounds like this.